Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for clicking on my video. It means a lot to me. I hope you'll enjoy it. Today we are going to be playing with the ABH Norvina Volume 1 palette. And I'm going to give you 4 looks and my final thoughts on the palette at the end of the video. So if you just want to hear my final thoughts, you can skip all the way to the end, but I recommend you watch the looks because I had fun doing them. And yeah, for those of you that are new here, I do have a special needs child. You'll hear him in the background clapping his hands and making noise. He's jealous of anyone or anything that takes my time from him. That being said, and without further ado, let's get into these multi-looks, shall we? Alright, so look number 1 in this series. I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics from the Neon Collection number 10 brush, and I dipped into B1. And I'm just, oh, and I did set my Jeffree Star concealer today with my Ciate London translucent powder. That's hot. So let's do this. I've been in one of those vibes lately where I just want to do my makeup. I thought about doing some voiceovers, but I think that's, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's a little impersonal, and sometimes I think it'd be better with these multi-look palettes. Tell me what you think down below. Do you want just a quick voiceover so you can see what I'm using and how I'm doing it, or do you prefer these talk through style videos? Now I'm going to take my Morphe E22 into, let's do a little A3 and start working that below that first shade we used. And with Anastasia shadows, you always want to pick up a light amount and use a light hand because they're generally very pigmented. So I love that about these shadows. I have found that when I set my base, it is easier to blend. So Anastasia is one of the brands I set my base. I'm just going to take that same brush and dip into some B4 and start deepening this outer V and outer portion of my eye, and just slightly bring it up into the crease just for that dimensional effect. So pretty. Now I'm going to take my BH Pro number 7 and dip into a little bit of A1. I just think this is a stunning color. Wait. Just wait. And I probably should put down some of my glitter primer, but I think I'm definitely going to spray this. Using the other side of that brush, I picked up some of the shade B3 and I sprayed it once again. And I'm just going to add this just to the outer part where I didn't put that first shade. And I feel like if I would have used my NYX glitter primer, this would be so much more intense. Switching the brush back and forth till I get that blend that I like between the two. Yes. Now I think I'm going to take that E22 and I'm going to dip into B5 and really smoke out this out here because I wanted it a little more smoky. Just a little. Gonna go back with that first brush we used, no additional product, and buff around these edges. And I'm not worried about the lower lash line because we're gonna trim that up with a makeup wipe, if you know what I mean. Then we'll work on the lower lash line. Alright, now that I sharpened that up some, I'm going to take this Morphe M321 and I am going to start working this on my lower lash line. About 3/4 of the way, I guess. Really smoke it out. Yes. Now I'm going to take this, let's see, 237, and I dipped into a little bit of B1. And I'm going to smoke this out even more. That is so easy. I love Anastasia shadows. They blend so nicely, even the purples, it's nice. Now I'm going to pick up that brush we used to put the shimmer in the crease, and I'm going to pick up some of that, or on the lid, pick up some of that A1 again, and I'm also going to put this in the inner corner. Just bring it right around. That is so pretty. Alright, now I'm going to take my Hank and Henry Blickety Black and do a little liner situation here, because I very rarely feel right without eyeliner. I think I'm going to take a bit of LA Girl in Vivid for my waterline and a bit of my Damn Girl mascara. Oh, really? Do you see that? Alright, I got her fixed up. I went a little high with the shimmer, but this is really just to give you ideas on what you could do with your look. So this is the final look of look number 1. Let's switch eyes and go to look number 2. Alright, I'm going to start out with my BH Pro number 5 and dip into some of the C5 shade right here. And I'm going to start by tapping that out here, and holy cow, talk about a little tiny tap turning into a lot of pigment. That's what we got going on. But we're going to buff her out and make her work. Wow, look at how that buffs out. That's what I'm talking about with Anastasia. I never have any trouble buffing her shades out. So this shade definitely, these darker shades that looked brown to me definitely look more mauve-y red on my eye. So anyway, I'm going to take my Sigma E38 and tap into a little bit of E5 and really start darkening the inner and outer portions. And yeah, okay, those colors look very similar on my eyes, very similar. Let me swatch these two. I'm having this issue as I work with my Natasha Denona palette. I mean, very, very slight difference in that shade. Okay, I think I'm going to take my Sigma E42 and barely dip into that black shade, that D5 shade, and just to add that depth that I felt like those two similar colors weren't giving me, because they're so similar. And I'm gonna get that depth with this black. And as you can see, you don't need a lot. Not at all. I actually ended up with more on that inner corner than I even wanted. So I'm going to pick up a little more of that E5 and try to balance this just a little. Oh yeah. That's going to be just fine and dandy. Yes, ma'am. Alright, so I just took what was left on my brush from concealing my eye, putting that concealer down on my eye, and kind of buffed over that center there. And I have my Luxie 245 here, and I think I'm gonna start with some C3, because I really like this shade. And I'm gonna put this on the inner and outer portion, making sure to leave some of that inner open, just like that. With the other side of the brush, I picked up a little bit of E1, and I'm gonna put that right in the middle here and kind of go back and forth with them as per usual. Now I'm gonna take this SL Miss Glam brush. This is just like a short shader brush. I really can't read those without little writing. And I'm gonna pick some of C5 up. Ugh. Careful of that pigmentation. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think I'm gonna add a little shimmer down here to try to count. That's I got insane really fast. Holy cow. Okay, I'm gonna buff some of this out with that Sigma brush we used on the top. Then with that same shader brush, I picked up some of that C3. I did color switch this off before I dipped in. I'm gonna put this kind of on the inner and outer like we did on the top. And I'm gonna put that E1 in the middle. Alright, so now I have the E1, and I'm just going to put that right in the middle, just for a little bit more dimension down here, because that was looking a little low, a little wild. We're going to clean her up with a makeup wipe, and I'll be right back. Taking my Sigma E65 into that D5. And of course, my camera died on me. So, yeah. Anyway, I took this E65 into that black shade, and I just kind of went right along this upper lash line and just a little bit on the bottom, on the outer corner, just like that. Then I'm going to take that big fluffy brush from BH that we used, and I did clean this up down here, which every time I buff across it I gotta do a little more. Let me put some mascara on and something in my waterline. I'll be right back. So I just went in my waterline with my Melt, I don't know if you could see that, it's like Rosalind's. It's really pretty. And I'm going to pick up that Luxie brush and go into that E1 shade. And I am going to spray this again. And I'm going to use this in to highlight my inner corner, because I think that's going to be so pretty. Yes. I love this shade. It's almost like a duochrome type. Yeah, see, it's so pretty, just stunning. Now I'm just going to take some of my Artist Couture in Summer Haze and pick it up. This is just a dual-ended Anastasia brush that I grabbed right here. But this has kind of a deeper pinky hue, so I think that's gonna look nice. See how pretty that is? And I think for this look, as much as I like it, I didn't do a brow bone highlight, but if I would have, I definitely think I would have went in with the white in this palette and just did white along here, because that's stunning. But anyway, this is what look number 2 came out like. And yeah, we'll move on to looks 3 and 4. I almost wish I would have done this last, because this, I would like to have wore this all day. That's quite pretty. And this would be great for like a night out. This is really giving me my fall vibes. Alright, re-primed and set and all that good stuff. Got mistaken at E44. And I think I'm going to dip into some of this shade right here. This D4. It looks shimmery. This doesn't really come out shimmery on the eyes. So, I really should... Let me grab some tape. Alright. I was having a rough time getting my shape the way I liked it, because I'm not a makeup artist. So, that is okay. Let me pick up a little bit more. Okay, there we go. I was like, hello. Yeah, that's kind of just trying to buff away on me. I don't know. Let me build that up. Every time I build this up, the second I start buffing it, it's getting really patchy and kind of lackluster on me. But we're going to roll with it. Try to make it work here best we can. Now I'm going to take this BH number 7 from the White Handle collection, and I'm going to dip into some D1, which is that yellow shade right there. I ate one of my husband's freaking dots from the movies last night, and yeah, it's like all stuck in my teeth. It's driving me crazy. Sorry about that. Anyway, we're gonna put this kind of heavy on the inner here and buff just along the top of that blue, just to try to buff out that blue just a little. And build this up really good in this inner portion here. Going back with some more of that blue and intensifying this outer V some. Can you guys see that? I don't know how I feel about that. Really? Okay, let's try to cover it up. I'm going to dip into some of this shade right here, this shimmer called D2, just with my finger. And I'm going to pat this across and bring it into that blue shade. Be a little bit more. I hope this isn't going to be a repeat of the blue that I did, or the purple that I did that I scrapped the look, if you watched my other video. Anyway. Alright. Next I'm going to be taking this shade right here. It's called C2. And I'm going to pick that up. Let's use my BH number 9. And I'm going to spray it. And we're going to put that on the inner half of this eye look. Just start working that in with that blue a little. Bluish, purplish type shade. You'll know what I mean. I'm going to take my Ico eyeliner and pillow line gun. I don't know. That's what I'm starting to get out of this. But anyway, let's clean that up and we'll do something with the lower lash line. Gonna take my angled E65 and dip into that D4 shade, and I'm really gonna pack this on here because I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but we're gonna start stamping that real tight to the lower lash line, and I am gonna take this pretty much all the way across, just like that. Then I'm just going to take this dual-ended Anastasia brush, and I'm going to pick up some of that D1 yellow shade and buff that right on the edge of that blue. Just like that. I'm liking this eye look a little more than I thought I would, actually. Gonna take that white C1 shade and highlight my brow bone. And let's see, what do I want to do for my inner corner? Hold that thought. I think I'm gonna take this Morphe M213 into that C2 shade and just bring it around like we did with that purple look and the what do you think? Alright, so I went in with Delta from ColourPop in my waterline to bring that blue out some more, and my Damn Girl mascara, which is trying to clump my lashes. Anyway, this is the third look. Let's move on to the fourth and what will probably be the final look in this video so that I don't make it too long. Alright, so now that I dealt with my phone call family issues, I just went ahead and wiped this eye off so I could get to this final look. And I think this final look is going to start out with B5. And a Sigma E40, and this is gonna go right in my outer crease, and I forgot to set my eye primer, so I guess we're gonna see how these shades perform not having a set base, which makes it a little harder to blend them, but I can make it. Now I'm going to use my BH number 5, and I dipped into some of this E4 right here. I think I'm going to pick up a little bit more actually, and I'm going to start stamping this and blending this right next to that purple, kind of like so. Now just using this Sigma brush, or Sigma Tetris brush that I got in my Ipsy, I'm gonna work this into this front part here. And this was that D1 shade. Just so you know, slightly blended into that neon orange. Now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to start by picking up a little bit of this blue shimmer D2, and I'm going to barely pop it on top of this purple, just on my mobile lid part. And then I think I'm going to dip into E1 to put right here, just to add a little something extra down here. And then I'm going to use my pinky into this gold C2 shade. And I'm going to try to get, ooh. Okay, I went a little ham with that. That's alright, because we'll just pick up a little more E1 and blend those together. Just going to take a nice, clean, fluffy brush. Any clean, fluffy brush will work for this step. Brush off anything that might be loose. And make sure this top is blended really nicely. Alright, so I quickly got the rest of my face done, got my dinner going. Well, in between filming, I'm cooking dinner too. I'm multitasking. Anyway, with my E55, I'm going to dip into some of that darkest purple we used, that B5 shade. And I'm going to get my little compact here. And I'm going to start working this on the lower lash line. See that spot right there? Right there. I can never get pigment to stick to that spot, hardly ever. So frustrating. I cleaned that brush off and picked up some of that next shade we used. And I'm going to put that right in the middle. And fade it into that purple. Like so. Now I'm going to take this Morphe E36 into, you guessed it, the yellow. Oh, I just touched my nose with that, and Thomas thinks it's funny, little turkey. Alrighty then, let me fix that. Alright, now that I got that situation taken care of, I'm going to take, and I cleaned off this little brush, and I'm going to dip it into some of that C2 color. And I better spray this. And I'm going to pop this in my inner corner. Yes. Going to take our clean blending brush and just go over everything one more time. I think I'm going to take the same ofra highlighter that I have on my cheeks, and I am going to highlight my brow bone ever so gently, because this is an ofra highlighter and it'll get crazy on you fast. But you cannot deny how beautiful and stunning they are. Alright, I went with Crest from ColourPop in my waterline. I wanted to brighten my eyes up just a little. I used my Big Ego mascara because my lashes were starting to clump with my damn girl. And I don't want to really put on falsies because I'm just going to wash this off because it's nighttime. Anyway, this is the last look I'm gonna do with this palette. I think I have done enough looks with this palette now to definitely have formed a decision on how I feel about it. Of course, most of these mattes in this palette perform beautifully. There is no doubt about the mattes and shimmers, most of them performing wonderfully. Obviously, you could see that, with the exception of this blue shade called D4. Yeah, that one came off. It just didn't. I had trouble getting it to perform right for me, if you know what I mean. That being said, if I could have changed something about this palette, I might have changed some of these shades that are extremely similar in my opinion, like A3, B4, and B5. When you swatch them out, well, maybe not this one, but these two look incredibly similar to me. And yeah, there's not enough depth in them to me to have them both in the palette. Maybe put some lighter blues in here, or, you know, something of that nature. Then let's see. Then with C5 and E5 swatched out, I mean, they're different, but they're not different enough to have both in the palette, in my opinion. And I love Anastasia. It's one of my favorite brands. But again, it would have made room for maybe a lighter blue. If you swatch out D1 and E3 together, that's another situation where, I mean, did you really need both? Maybe it's because I'm not a makeup artist. I mean, let me know down in the comments. And yeah, I don't know. And then E2 and E4, very different shades, but oh, yeah, nice. I forgot to dry my hand. Anyway, yeah, E4 definitely didn't come out as bright on my eye as I was hoping it would. And look at that staying power. They stained it that fast. Anyway, I really like E2. E4 I was a little disappointed in because it wasn't as vibrant as I was hoping for. I mean, it's a beautiful shade, but to me it looked a little different on my actual eyes rather than, oh, and I put that neon coral from this collection that I got with this on my lips. I don't know if I said that. Anyway, all that being said, let's look at C4 compared to, yeah, it was C4 and A3, I think, that were so close. Yeah, because this one was the oddball. Yeah, okay, I did already do those. Anyway, long story short, I would have changed a few things about this palette if it was my palette, but I like the palette. I enjoyed the looks I created with this palette. Let me know which one was your favorite down in the comments. But yeah, I just feel like they could have put, maybe instead of having those two ready tone colors, maybe actually have a brown in there. Obviously I need to see a doctor because that looked brown to me at first, but not anymore. But anyway, it's a nice palette. I didn't use A5, I don't believe, but that is quite the vibrant color. Yeah, I mean, if you're interested in getting this palette, you can definitely pick it up. I don't think you're going to be disappointed unless you are picking it up just for that blue, which then I would steer you away from not getting it, because I had a lot of trouble with that blue myself personally. But again, I'm not a makeup artist. So anyway, that is my multi-look one palette video with the Norvina 1 palette. I cannot beat the packaging. I cannot beat the mirror in this. Most of the shades I absolutely am in love with, and I loved playing with this. Yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful night or day wherever you are. And yeah, me and Thomas will see you on the next one. If you made it this far in the video, I hope you'll take the time to like and subscribe to my channel so I can have you around for more videos. And I hope you'll comment so we can have some chatty time down in the comments. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up for another Teresa Tries Tutorials. Bye, guys.